While the monk was eating his vegetarian meal, he discovered a note hidden in his bowl. He carefully unfolded the paper and found that his fake monk identity had been exposed. An informant was warning him to leave Shaolin Temple immediately. After reading it, he swallowed the note. He had disguised himself as a monk to infiltrate Shaolin Temple, to steal the martial arts manuals from the temple. But the scripture pavilion was guarded around the clock, making it nearly impossible for anyone to get close to steal the manuals. The man pretended to be a monk doing penance during the day, facing the wall in meditation. At night, he would switch places with his inside contact, pretending he was still there meditating. Then he'd secretly climb the tree next to the scripture pavilion. When no one was looking, he immediately jumped onto the pavilion's roof and crawled inside through a small window in the rafters. He then began searching earnestly for martial arts manuals and finally found one. He made sure to put a fake manual back in its place. Before dawn, he had already returned to his meditation spot and began secretly studying the stolen martial arts manual. That night, he entered the scripture pavilion again to steal more manuals, but just as he was searching the shelves for manuals, he was accidentally spotted by a monk on duty. To avoid being discovered by people outside, he knocked the monk unconscious with one strike, but the commotion still alerted the monks outside. He immediately ran to the door and pushed it open, drawing the pursuing monks outside. Then, taking advantage of the poor nighttime visibility, he quickly returned to his meditation spot. He handed the stolen manual to his informant. However, just as the informant was about to leave, they discovered a large group of monks approaching from all directions. With nowhere to escape, the informant had to return, but to keep his own identity from being exposed, he slammed the informant's head against the stone wall and sent him flying with another strike. Just like that, the arriving monks mistook the informant for the manual thief. Just when he thought he was safe from danger, disaster struck. The people outside the temple who were supposed to help him escape accidentally revealed his true identity during casual conversation. It turned out he was a royal prince who had left his comfortable life to steal manuals from Shaolin Temple. However, their conversation was overheard by Jack. Jack's entire family had been persecuted by the prince. In his anger, he threw rocks into the cave. Only the person hiding in the tree managed to survive. He immediately passed this news to the prince. When Jack arrived at Shaolin Temple, it was already too late. The prince had already taken the abbot hostage. For the abbot's safety, everyone had to let the prince go to rescue the abbot. Jack led the Shaolin disciples to the prince's mansion, but the prince's men were also very skilled. Jack gradually fell behind. Fortunately, the Shaolin disciples stepped in just in time. Working together seamlessly, they defeated the prince. Knowing he was no match for them, the prince quickly fled to the backyard and once again used the abbot as a threat. But the abbot refused to burden everyone and crashed his head against a pillar. This scene made the Shaolin disciples even more furious. They launched a fierce attack on the prince and finished him off with a final kick. They carried the abbot's body back to Shaolin Temple.